All right, folks, let's go. Music. There we go. That'll do why I can talk over this. But now we're gonna do days. I have my desktop. You can see everything that's installed on this computer. Very cool. Day 17 is upon us today. Try Hack Me, Advent of Cyber 2024, day 17. Dance floor. Well, it's not really a dance floor. Today, honestly, it's a really interesting one accessibility-wise because it's not inaccessible in the sense that you can probably do these with a lot of time and patience. And I'm going to show some of that in this video. It relies a lot on a heavy reliance on images. The text is not super clear, so we're going to see a little bit of that. I'm going to point it out when we see it. And then there is an application we use, Splunk, which is the application we use. I know that they did some accessibility work on Splunk this year. And what's kind of funny is that it's really obvious that they've done some of the work and they've tried to do pretty well, and they just didn't really test it that well, I think. But we'll see as we go through these. There's some really interesting things happening with this software, and there's a couple of things they quite clearly either forgot about or just didn't quite cover yet. But we'll see. Let's turn the music off and dive into day 17. Log analysis day 17. He analyzed and analyzed till his analyzer got sore. Well then, that's a thing. The story. First thing we see is a task banner for day 10. This is one of those things that I'm starting to get find a little bit annoying in this year's Advent of Cyber. There's a clear lack of quality control in some respects. Things are not being proofed. I see a lot of spelling mistakes, grammar mistakes, and this is a copy-paste mistake. They just copy-pasted the alt text for day 10. Obviously, this is day 17, so that's wrong. And I don't know, if you're 1 million plus users and you want to get a bunch more users and you then put really sloppily proofed stuff out there, it just feels kind of to me. But okay. We're not the grammar police, we're the accessibility police, so let's continue on. Close that walkthrough so it's not in our way. An attack now, it seems, on the town's CCTV. There's a problem with the logs, but what could it be? An idea put forward of a log format switch. Not as expected, the idea of the glitch. Background story, okay. Got a picture of McSkitty, Cindy Lou, in deep thought. I'm not sure who Cindy Lou is. Cindy Lau? Cindy Lowe? Huh. Martha May Ware is going crazy. Someone has disconnected the main server from the Wareville network, and nobody knows who it is. As soon as she realized it, she contacted Wareville's top physical security company, WareSec and Aware, to let her view the data center's CCTV streams. They forbade it entirely for privacy reasons. Only the camera owner can view the recordings. Not even the WareSec and Aware employees themselves are allowed to do so. Still, they said there was no recording of anybody entering the data center yesterday. How could that be, wondered Martha May. Desperate for answers, their first suspicion was that the owner of the cameras must have deleted the recordings from their managing webpage. Is that how you say that? Managing web? I don't know. Again, not the grammar police. We are the accessibility police. Let's continue on. But the data center's camera owners surely can't be the perpetrator. It is no other than Byte, Glitch's dog. Why does a dog own cameras? Glitch insisted with Marta to leave the ownership of the cameras to Byte, precisely to avoid these kinds of happenings. Byte, the ultimate good boy, combines loyalty and sharp instinct to keep any place safe. Aww, Byte the good boy. Martha May calls Glitch and McSkitty right away, explaining the situation in between the sobs. Aww, Martha May's all sad. Glitch's eyes darken. Someone is trying to frame Byte, and he will not let anybody vex his beautiful dog. McSkitty is perplexed. Why are the people at WhereSec and Aware supposing the byte had deleted the recordings? Shouldn't they have some logs to provide such an accusation? To prove such an accusation, sorry. Martin May has the answer. They do have some logs, files that they back up every 6 hours, give or take. But they can't search through it. Or rather, they tried, but when they go and search for some keyword like the data center's cameras, IDs, or the action delete, this is what they get. Cat CCTV underscore logs content. Okay, what did I get? Grep I. 2024 watch camera 5 byte 11 session logs recording info quote 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 quote. Bunch of log entries. More log entries. Okay, something says download recording 5 byte, and then it says unreadable. McSkitty shakes her head. They must immediately send the log file to the SOC team. Armed with a SIEM, no log is unsearchable. Learning objectives. In this task, we will explore the following learning objectives while investigating the logs related to the incident scenario explained above. Learn how to extract custom fields in Splunk. Learn to create a parser for the custom logs. Filter and narrow down the search results using Search Processing Language, or SPL. How to investigate in Splunk. All right, connecting to the machine. Before we moving forward, review the questions in the connection card below and start the virtual machine by pressing the Start Machine button. The VM should be fully loaded in 3 minutes. Okay, starting the machine. Connection details. And of course, it's just the alt-text connection card, which is so pointless that it may as well not be there. Very good, very well done. It's about what I've come to expect from this year, honestly. It's sad, they did so good last year with these. Like, I pointed out that it was broken, and they really stepped up their game, and this year it's just really bad. Kind of a sad thing. Oh well. Once the machine is up and running, we can connect to the Splunk SIEM by visiting lab web URL. Okay, we don't have the URL yet. That's fine. We have to wait for this to come on. Investigation time. It's time to fire up Splunk, where the data has been pre-ingested for us to investigate the incident. Once the lab is connected, open up the link in the browser and click on Search and Reporting on the left. All right, so that's the first thing we need to do. I'm just going to pause here for just a second so we have the... Oh, there it is. I think it just finished. Yeah, 10.10.2.116 is our URL of choice this time, and here is Splunk. Oh, it's a 502 back gateway. We're not quite there yet. I guess it needs a bit more time to run the auto scripts to make sure all the servers are actually running. Let's refresh the page. No, not quite yet. All right, let me just make sure that the speech is all good to go. While we do this here, slow the speech way down. There.
Speech mode B, speech mode talk, separate heading, toolbar, try heading, visited link, HTTPS, untitled, Google Chrome, busy, HTTPS.
There is Splunk, look at that.
Speech mode off.
So this is copyright 2005, 2024 Splunk Incorporated. So this is a very old tool. It's been around for a long time. And Splunk is one of those tools that's been there for a really long time. And apparently this year they said they would improve accessibility. Honestly, it's usually pretty rare to see an old project like this do that. So that's actually kind of cool. But then I kind of wonder if they had help, because it's just some really interesting things like and assumptions happening here. First thing we see, for example, is the following.
Speech link screen reader users. Click here to skip the navigation bar. Speech mode
It's
off.
very odd to talk to screen reader users directly like that, and it's particularly strange for like a skip link, which screen reader users generally don't use. Skip links are generally for keyboard only users. Like screen reader users can use them in a pinch, but really just if we have something else to use to jump around. So it's very kind of interesting for them to target that at screen reader users. It makes me wonder, did they have someone helping them, or did they just sort of assume that they knew best? Anyway, we found that search and reporting thing link, so we go there. And the first thing we see is here the search thing. Let's see what they want us to do. Investigation time. Yeah, it's time to fire up Splunk with the data. Open up the link in the browser and click on search and reporting. We just did that. Splunk interface, alt text. Fantastic. On the next page, type index equals star in the search bar to show all ingested logs. Okay. Well, that's already an interesting instruction because we'll find that that's not actually how it works. Index equals star. Let me actually let me see what screen readers do with this. They're using an inaccessible editor component within Splunk. Again, this is not a try hack me thing. This is a Splunk thing, but they're using like this inaccessible code editor kind of component, so you can't actually see what you're typing. And to fix that, they've just made it so every time you press a character, it reads you the new full contents of the search bar, which is a way to do that. It's kind of obnoxious, to be fair, but it does do the job, I guess. So
index equals star
it does that. It's not great. Anyway, that's not how screen readers work, but hey, there you go. So we've done this now, and if we go all the way down past all these filters, we'll see that no event sampling. Okay, that's actually things. There's so many things here. Script. Yeah, blah blah blah. So there's no actual results here yet, and that's because we need to set a bunch of other filters first. So to show all ingested logs, no, it targets all ingested logs. Note that we will need to select all time as the time frame from the drop down on the right of the search bar. Splunk search head. Great. Alt text. There's a couple of drop downs next to the search bar.
Last 24 hours.
This one is labeled last 24 hours. It doesn't tell us that it's a drop down, but you can actually press this to expand a little thingy here. Clearly this was not tested.
Expanded presets. List with 7 items. Real time. Link real time 30-second window. Link real time 1. Link real out of list.
So you don't want the real time ones nor the relative ones. You want the other ones.
Link relative to date.
For some reason, it's not told that you're not really being told that by this text. But I found this out when I was doing this yesterday.
With 6 items. Link relative last 15 minutes. Link relative link out of link other.
So we have other, and then there's an all time right here.
Link other all time.
Let me press that. And that is set to all time. The other bit's not listed when it's actually collapsed, so all time is the right thing to do here. And then, after running the query, we'll be presented with 2 separate data sets pre-ingested to Splunk. So I think you need to hit this search button first. I'm pretty sure that's the run button. So we got 10,741 reviews before 28/2024, 13/36/43. I am not sure if we need that number, but I'm going to write it down just in case, because that's a number that we now have. 10,741. There we go. All right. After running the query, we'll be presented with 2 separate data sets pre-ingested to Splunk. We can verify this by clicking on the source type field in the fields list on the left of the page. Okay, the alt text searching in Splunk. The 2 datasets are as follows. Web logs. This file contains events related to web connections to and from the CCTV web server. And CCTV logs. This file contains information about the CCTV application access logs. Let's explore the logs and investigate the attack on our CCTV servers to identify the culprit who got unauthorized access to the server and deleted the CCTV streams. Examining CCTV logs. Let's start our investigation by examining the CCTV logs. To do so, we can either click on the corresponding value for the source type field or type the following query in the search bar. So we have that index equals star that's already there, and then source type equals CCTV logs. Now, to make things easier, you could do this with the UI. But you could also just type, like they said, source type equals CCTV logs. And then I guess we press the search bar again, the search button, this one.
Running complete check 3077 events before 28.
And it looks like we have for CCTV, let's write that down, CCTV events 3000, what was it? I don't even remember. 3077. 3077. All right. Wrote that down. Let's continue. Understanding the problem. Okay, so after examining the logs, we can figure out the following main issues. 1. Logs are not parsed properly by Splunk. And 2. Splunk does not consider the actual timeline of the event. Instead, it uses only the ingestion time. Okay. Fixing the problem. Before analyzing and investigating the logs, we must extract the relevant fields from them and adjust the timestamp. To provide the provided logs were generated from a custom log source, so Splunk could not parse the fields properly. Extract new fields. Clicking on the Extract New Fields option located below the fields list on the left of the page. All right. So what we are going to do is just look for the word extract with NVDA search, and we find this right here. It opened a new page. And it has us do a thing. So basically it says we will be presented with event logs that must be parsed properly. Though we can select any log, but what? Though we can select any log, but in order to follow the steps mentioned below and avoid confusion, let's select the very first sample event and click on the green Next button at the top of the page. If you're going to use words like though, can you at least make sure you do them correctly? Anyway, let's see. So we have steps, select sample, select method, select fields. Right now the next button is grayed out. We need to pick something. Select sample event. Okay. Choose a source or source type, select the sample event and click next to go to the next step. All right. Source type, let's see, CCTV logs, time range, yeah, last 90 days. Let's see, do we have enough time with that? Yeah, 1,000 events, 2909-2024 to today, basically. Looks good to me. We have a table here. Okay, this is the first thing I see where clearly no testing was done, because if we look at the pagination here with a screen reader, we get the following.
List with 10 items prev. Link go to page 1 of table. Link go to page 2 of table. Link go to page 3 of table. Speech mode off. Okay,
so when I read this again, I thought this was a really weird mistake where it says 3 out of table instead of 3 of table, but I think it's just really verbose for no reason. What they mean here is, page 3 of table results. Just 3 will do, but thank you. I appreciate that. So we can set the amount per page here. We can filter. We don't want to do any of that. We just want to pick a sample 1,000 events. We can just pick one thing here. And it's not super clear, but you can press these. You can press enter on these, and that selects them. So we have now selected something.
29/09/2024 0:00:00.00 to 28/12/20.
Yeah. Okay, so now that button at the top here, the next button, is no longer grayed out. This is extremely nebulous. Like, if you don't know to try this, you wouldn't figure this out. That's why I'm doing them here. I'm clicking the next button. This is a fun one. I'll read you what you're supposed to do. It says select method. There are 2 options for extracting the fields, using regular expressions and using delimiters. In this exercise, we will be extracting the fields using regular expressions. Select this option and then click next. Okay, so in here, we do have that select method prompt. We immediately see the link for I prefer to write the regular expression later, myself rather. We don't see anything about picking yet. Source type CCTV logs. We have the sample event here, and then we have regular expressions and delimiters. But it's really not super clear what you're meant to be doing here. From what I am able to suss out, the regular expression option is already picked for you. It's like the default. Pressing enter on it doesn't harm anything. That's what I do. And that's the one we want for this exercise. So I'd say leave that be and just go to the next page by clicking next again, like this. I just did it. The screen reader is not talking, but I just did that. And now it says select fields. Highlight one or more values in the sample event to create fields. You can indicate one value. One value is required, meaning it must exist in an event for the regular expression to match. Click on highlighted values in the sample event to modify them. To highlight text that is already part of an existing extraction, first turn off the existing extraction. Okay, that sounds super vague, but basically what you're meant to be doing, and I think that's the only way to do this, is using the mouse to do this. I know I didn't look at the actual Try Hack Me page, but I did this yesterday, so I know what we're meant to be doing. It's going to tell us the exact same thing. We need to highlight these out into their constituent fields, and the only way to do that is by using the mouse. So if you're using NVDA, I quite honestly don't know how you would do this with JAWS, and I don't know if you can with VoiceOver. Probably you can. No idea with Orca, but with NVDA, what you do is you lock down the mouse button on the first character and then move your mouse to the end of it, and then you unlock the mouse. So with the laptop key bindings, you would essentially move your mouse to the 2 in 2024 12 16.
2024-12-16
We are on the 2. That's where my cursor is. I do command of a caps lock control left paren
left mouse lock
to lock the left mouse button.
024
I move my NVIDIA
44,
review
6.
cursor to past the 5 in 23 46 45.
5 space.
Move the mouse again with control caps lock M.
Action unavailable while a dialog requires a response.
Control shift M, sorry. I think control M even.
Mouse tracking off.
No, control
Mouse
shift
tracking
M,
off.
my bad. And then we unlock the mouse button with caps lock control left parent again.
Left blank.
And it brings up a little thing that
Speech
asks
mode
us
off.
what the field name should be. In this case, it's timestamp. Yeah, the sample value is the timestamp. You can check that if we go down from the field.
Sample value 2024-12-16 23 46 45.
So you can make sure you have the entire thing covered. And then there's an add extraction link right there. So we've now added that extraction. All good. It's all done. 1,000 events, blah, blah, blah. So you need to do this for all the things in this sample thing that we picked. There's like 4 or 5 different values. So the next one would be logout. So we do the same thing. We go to logout. We lock down the mouse button. We go past this part of things. Now, how are you supposed to see where one thing begins and one thing ends? You don't. You sort of need to know that. So this is an action. So we have action, user ID, username, and session ID is what we need to be doing. The funny thing is, and I'll rant about this in just a moment. I'm doing the other ones while I talk. But we're actually going to throw this out in a little bit, and it's honestly really irks me the way they've written this. Because the reason I don't like what they've done here is I just don't like that way of teaching. Like, I'll show you how you can do a certain thing, and then we're going to throw it all away, and I'm just going to give you the answer that you're actually meant to be using, which is this big dragon of a regular expression. Where I'm just like, ugh, really? Then why did we do all this busy work just now? If you're just gonna like wipe it out anyway, like it's not a type of self-learning that I necessarily super agree with. It's just not really my thing. Username. So basically, I'm doing the exact same thing that we just did with speech on, just several times in a row. I've done them for timestamp, action, user ID, username, and now I'm going to do session ID, which is the last one.
Right, E. Left blank. S-E-S-I-O-N-R-D. Sample value 195 SKL link at 195 SKLML7ND.
Oh, that's wrong.
Mainland out of table Grammarly.
I missed one character. Did that wrong yesterday as well.
Select field.
Still a bit of an weird NVDA quirk. Sometimes it doesn't love what you're trying to do. It's kind of annoying, but hey.
Left mouse L A. Right E.
Oh.
O P. Right E.
There you go.
Left blank.
That should do it. Session ID. Now does it have the whole thing? It does not. That's so annoying. One more time.
Out of main select samples highlight required. Me highlighted values in the sample.
Yeah.
Show regular expression 2024-12.
So this one, this
Log
one.
95 SKLML7L A 95 SKLML 7 D1 4 DBOSC 8 Q 6 VOP right V. Left mouse lock.
Oops.
O P O S 5 9 A L K space E space A
We're doing it the other way around this time. That's fine.
space. Edit blank.
Session ID.
Sample value.
Do we have the whole thing this time? We don't. It keeps skipping the P. For some reason, it doesn't really matter. Like, we're going to wipe this out anyway.
Splunk 8.2 alert. The extraction failed.
So now it's giving me an alert that it failed. I'm not really sure why this goes wrong. NVDA sometimes just doesn't want to get that last character. It doesn't really matter. We're going to cancel out of this soon anyway. Because really what it's going to have us do... it's going to wipe it out anyway. So yeah, it's going to give us here the table. I'm skipping past the bit that we just did. Basically, it's going to give us the exact same thing that we just did. Blah, blah, blah. We click on the green X button, and then the thing gets done. So really what it's going to have us do at some point is going to have us delete that extraction anyway. So I'm just going to not bother, honestly, and just put the one that they want us to use in. Yeah, so I'm going to read this. This tab shows us, okay, so this is where it starts getting a little bit vaguer. Extraction of the fields or a red cross sign. Okay, so save and analyze. After validating that the extracted fields are correct, the next step is saving and analyzing the logs. And now we see a graphic that says save the patterns, and then it says this tab shows us the regular expression created, the fields extracted, and the sample event that contains the fields we wanted to extract. Let's save this session by clicking on the green finish button. So that's the last part of the wizard. I don't love that it just says this tab. It really doesn't tell you that what they've done is just moved on in the wizard. To do so, we can click on the explorer fields, create search link to the next page. Okay, fair enough. We can verify that we successfully extracted the custom fields from the logs by clicking on any of our custom fields in the list on the left of the page. For example, if we click on the username field, we'll be presented with all the different values that have been extracted from the logs for this field. We'll do that in a minute when we do like the switcheroo where they have us use their regular expression. That's not the one we just made. It also appears that some fields have not been parsed exactly as we expected. Graphic search in Splunk. No, that is not a good alt text. You tell me what went wrong. You tell me why this image is here. You explain to me what's on the image. You don't just put search in Splunk and call it good. All right. Improving the field extraction. As previously mentioned, some of the logs are a bit different from the ones we used as a baseline for the field extraction. Some of the log formats that our parser could not pick are mentioned below. Okay, so we got a sample log, yeah. It is important to note that there can be various ways to achieving our goal of fixing the partner. There can be ways to achieve, or there are ways of achieving. You can't have them both at the same time. Okay, we will try of the methods as covered in steps below. Okay, removing the fields extraction. Now we didn't actually save the field extraction, so we're not going to be doing that. But yeah, you can go to settings and then fields as shown below. I have no idea where the settings fields things would be, but it just gives you an alt text that says navigate the settings fields. Going to assume if you go NVDA search and look for settings, you'd find this. Click on the field extractions tab. It will display all the fields extracted. Select, yeah, okay. Delete the regexp pattern. This tab will display all the pattern fields extracted so far in Splunk. We can look for the CCTV rated pattern in the list, or simply search CCTV in the search bar and it will display our recently created pattern. Once the right pattern is selected, click on the delete button as shown below. Graphic, select the pattern and delete. Why we are deleting this previously created pattern? Well, this regex picks fields from some logs and leaves behind other logs, which may be vital for our investigation. Our goal is to create one generic regular expression that works on almost all events. Open filed extractor. They mean field extractor. Next, click on the Open Field Extractor button, and it will take us to the same tab where we can extract the fields again. So that's why I haven't moved our thing. We're literally just going to do the exact same thing. Update the regex. This time, after selecting the right source type and CCTV logs and time range as all time, click on I prefer to write the regular expression myself. In the next tab, enter the regex random super long regular expression that's like several lines long and select preview. And this is where I'm annoyed with this task. Like, why did we do this whole entire thing that we're now just going to throw away anyway? And you're not going to explain anything about how this is different. You're just going to say, just enter the thing I just gave you. What's the point? Like, why is this here? We don't even explain what regexp even is. We just sort of assume that people know that. In any case, this is the regex expression that we want. We're going to paste this into the thing. We need to go back to where we were, the previous tab.
Main all events filled down table with 21 rows and one no next link. All of sample apply with 20 per list with 10 items next.
Let's see. Can I?
Back on next unavailable link. Back unavailable link.
Everything is.
Learn more link. List with one item events link.
Can I just cancel out of this whole entire thing?
Existing fields. Banner landmark help. Loading. Add link screen reader user.
I can. Okay, so
search out of edit heading level 1 new search. Search edit multi-line. Out of edit index equals star source type equals CCTV logs. Link all time.
Very cool. So we're going to do that extract thing from the start. Extract new fields. Here we go again.
Complete check. Link screen remain landmark extract select method. Select save unavailable link existing fields. Heading level 2 select sample event. Choose a source or source type. Select the sample field extract link I prefer to write the regular expression myself. Source type logs time range. Link last 90 days. Sort link I prefer to write field extractor.
Like, here's the regular expression that it wants us to write ourselves. We will put the massive dragon of the regular expression that we just given in here. Amusingly, this uses an accessible editor. It doesn't use the same one for the search, so they do have one. They just don't use it for search for some reason. And we can now preview. 1,000 events. Very cool.
Link list with 6 items. Link event. Link out of list. Check 1,000 events. 29/09 list with 10 items. Prev. Link go to page. Link go. Link out of list. Filter edit. Fill link plot. Link sample. One table with column 2. Link row 2 2020. Timestamp up down arrow column 3 2024-12-1623. Event up down arrow column. User it up down arrow. Username up down session it up down arrow. Edge of table.
Yes. So it added the fields. Very good. We have event, user, everything. So a preview, okay, so the preview, this regex will fix the field parsing pattern and extract all needed fields from the logs. Hit save, and on the next page, select finish. On the next page, once again, click on the explore the fields I just created in the search. Okay, so wait a second. Let's not do too many things at once here. Let's find the search button. Here's the save button, we just saved it. Then we go finish, or at least, yeah, we press finish. We just did that. Very good. Success. You have extracted additional fields from your data. Source type, CCTV, logs. Edit your field extractions at any time by going to the field extractions. Okay. What would you like to do next? And then there's an explore the fields I just created in search thing, which is what it says we should click. So I just clicked that. Very cool. 0 events. Let's see what it tells us to do. Now that we can observe that all fields are being extracted as we wanted, let's start investigating the logs. Okay. Investigating the CCTV footage logs. Now that we have sanitized and properly parsed the logs, it's time to examine them and find the culprit. Summary of the CCTV feed. After examining the CCTV feed logs, we can create a mental picture of the information these logs provide us. A brief summary of these logs is... Okay, where is the part where we actually investigate? It just get a summary, and that's we call it good. These log contains the successful and failed login attempts from various users. Okay, they contain a few failed login attempts, which look suspicious. They contain information about the CCTV footage being watched and downloaded. Okay. Event count by each user. Let's use the following search query to see the count of events by each user. Index equals cctv underscore feed bar stats count event by username. All right, let's try that. But the funny thing is, we don't know anything about why we're doing this. We don't know what any of these terms mean. We just sort of go with it. So instead of this index or index star, like it's done for us now, we're going to actually be deleting that and putting this in here. So the index equals cctv underscore feed bar stats count left paren events right paren by username. And these need to be capitalized the way you capitalize the fields. We need to change our time thing again because it's set to the last 24 hours. So just like we did before, I'm going to set this to other. And then other all time. There we go. We again have 3,077 events. All right. And do we get anything? Okay, search. There it goes. Yeah. So where is our counts? I wonder. Let's find out.
Link, share link, print link, verbose mode filled list with 4 items, link events, link pat links, link out of list, link 100 per link format, link preview filled. Table with 8 rows and 2 columns, row 1, column 1 link. Link username up down arrow. Column 2 link. Link count event up down arrow. Row 2 username up down arrow. Column 1 byte.
So
count event up down arrow. Column 2 1062.
Looks like byte has 1062. Freeware has 160. Glitch has 485. Hardware has 160. Marta has 323. And malware has 247. Software has 640. Let's actually have a look, because this looks like it might be something we have a question about. We can easily visualize this data by first clicking on visualization below the search bar, then changing the visualization type from bar chart to pie chart. Now, if you don't mind, I'm not going to do that. Show results in bar chart. Why is the alt text show results in bar charts if they're going to have us switch it to pie charts? Is it showing me in bar chart or not? Okay, well, doesn't matter. Alt text is very much not something we need to worry about in this one, very clearly. Let's continue. Summary of the event count. We can create a summary of event count to see what activities were captured in the logs using the following query. Obviously, I can already give you that malware is one of the answers to the questions, because it's going to ask us what the username of someone is, and it's 8 characters. Malware has 7 characters. I did that question without even looking at any of this. I just guessed, okay, it's malware is 7 letters. We have 8. This is probably going to be malware, and that was correct. So you're going to find that one's already filled in when we get to the questions, and that's why. Okay, we can create a summary of the event count to see what activities were captured in the logs using the following query. Index equals cctv feed bar stats count by event. Okay, that just gives us a number of events, I guess. Splunk will automatically display the previously selected pie chart type of visualization. Yeah, whatever. Okay, visualize results in pie chart. Now it says pie charts, whatever. Examining rare events. Okay. Using the following search query, let's look at the events with fewer occurrences in the event field to see if we can find something interesting. I'm going to wait with that. I'm going to see if any of these numbers are something we need. Extract all the events from the CCTV feed logs. How many logs were captured associated with the successful login? Oh. Okay. I'm not sure if we've gotten to that part yet, but let's find out. I think we need to find that event count by each user. I don't think we want that. I think we want the other one, the one that's below here. Index CCTV feed stats count by event. I think if we do that, we can see how many logged in users we have, logins we had. So let's go here, back to the tab, change the query we have here, delete all that and put this one in, and press the search button. And then we look at this table here.
Column 2 link count up down arrow. Edge of table. Column 1 link event up down arrow.
All right, so what is the question we're looking for?
Extract all the events.
Extract all the events from the CCTV. Like how many logs were captured associated with the successful login.
Search.
So successful login.
Row 2 delete recording.
Delete
Row 3
recording, download recording.
Focus window, fluent search. Fluent. Search split. Row 4 login failed.
Login
Row 5
failed.
login successful.
Login successful. That is 642 according to this readout.
Extract all the events from the C answer.
Is that the right number?
Answer format.
642.
Alert. Woo, woo.
Yes, it is. Very cool. All right, that one's done. What is the session ID associated with the attacker who deleted the record? Okay, that we haven't done yet. What is the name of the attacker found in the logs who deleted the CCTV? Well, that's Mayor Malware. I don't think anyone is surprised by that. And then there's one more question we still have to do. Let's just continue on with what it had us do before. What is it? The rare events. Oh, no. This way. Rare event. Let's see. Removing the field extract. Yeah, whatever. Okay, this way. Yep, rare. Examining rare events. Using the following search query, let's look at events. Yeah, we just read that bit. Index CCTV bar rare event. Apparently there is just a keyword rare. All right, let's have a look what that looks like. Gonna delete this search query here and put this in there. Let's see what we get.
Table with 7 rows and 2 columns. Row 1 column. Row 2 delete recording.
Okay, delete recording is apparently rare. It's only happened twice.
Edge of table 2. Row 1
but we only get count with this query.
Row 3 402. Event up down arrow. Column 1
download recording happened 402 times. Login failed happened 16 times.
Event up down arrow. Column 1.
I don't think this did anything.
Index equals CCTV.
Oh, we need to do the search button again first, don't we?
Search button. Running complete check.
There, let's see what this
Table with
shows.
7 rows. Link event up down arrow. Column 2 link. Link count up down arrow. Column 3 link.
Count percentage. Okay, all right. So now we can see delete recording is 2 and is apparently 0.0649998%. So that's how we get the rares. All right, good to know. That's important. And the alt text says examine the rare events captured. It looks like we have a few attempts to delete the recording and a few failed login attempts. This means we have a clue. Let's now examine the failed login attempts first. So the query is index equals CCTV underscore failed in CCTV feed, and then we have star failed star bar table underscore time username event session ID. Now this is kind of weird because none of these queries are explained, but we'll take a look at them because I think we can find our session ID with this. And if we can, honestly, I may just end the video here because we got all the questions and we did all the things with Splunk as well. And you can read the rest yourself if you feel needed, if you feel the need for that. But on the whole, we have done all the Splunky things and we've seen all the odd things. Okay, 16 events before 28th. Okay, let's see what we got. So if we look at, okay, that's byte. That is byte. These are all byte. Is there a Mayor Malware here somewhere?
Row 8 byte. Row 9 byte. Row 10 Marta.
Marta.
Arrow, column 3 login failed. Row 11 login failed. Username up down arrow. Row 12 Marta. Row 13 glitch.
Glitch.
Edge of table. Rich 5
so there's a session ID here. RIJ. Okay, let's try this one. Is this the right session ID?
Speech mode off.
What is this session ID? Is it this one? It is. All right. So the session ID is our. Let's just let the computer read that. So that's the session ID, and essentially what it has you do is it has you run a few more queries. Honestly, the only reason I don't really want to go through the entire thing is because it's really not explained what you're doing that well anyway. Like it tells you the results of the queries that you're doing, but it doesn't explain to you how the queries came to be, what they mean, what they're exactly doing. You sort of have to sort of work that out from context. But really, it's just a couple more queries like this that'll then supposedly get you the answers you want. Then you'll see Like as we go through them all, that you narrow them down way further and further until like one thing remains. But I'm a person that, given we've already done a number of these, we know it's major malware. We know it's major malware trying to pin the stuff on glitch. So if we just see a bunch of failed glitch logins, that tells me it's probably gonna be that one. So yeah, that's day 17. Let me see if we got all the questions right on this one. Yeah, all the answers have been correctly filled in. So that is the end of this day 17 in the pocket. I'm gonna end this video and then do 23. You guys have a fantastic day. I'll see you in the next one.